Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the Reapers are taking to the field, and they are coming for the souls of the Greenskins. Right now, we have a matchup between the Vampire Counts and the Greenskins. Vampire Counts being led by Sensible Insane, and the Greenskins are being led by BaronVonUndZu. So for the forces of the Vampire Counts, we have 3 units of Black Knights. We have one over there and a couple on the right flank. We have 2 Black Coaches, and we also have 2 Cairn Wraiths as well. And the Strigoi Vampire Lord is up in the sky on his Terrorgeist with his kit, so he'll be bringing kind of a nice little kit. Of course, he has the Terrorgeist, so he has a nice regen. He's got Spirit Leech, Invocation of Nehek. He's got the Command the Unliving, so he's able to summon some Crypt Ghouls, and Overcast will give him some nice Crypt Horrors, Opal Amulet, and Ghoul King of Ushoran with a very nice regen ability right there. Also a Necromancer with Raised Dead and the Forbidden Rod. It's a little extra summoning in that department. We have a kind of a lineup of skeleton warriors flanked by units of zombies, 2 on this side and a couple on the far flank. We also have the Stearnsmen, a very good unit, pretty much against any matchup you see. They'll just do very well. Very common to see them just last the whole battle. Very good if they are not focused down quickly. So the Greenskins are going to be kind of split in their formation. We have a couple Snotling Pump Wagons on this far flank here, as well as just some Orc Boys. We have some Biggins as well. And we have just some Goblins, some Orc Boys, and we also have the Rogue Idol with the Giant River Troll Hag with a nice kit of, so it's got Spirit Leech, Soul Blight, Blast Scroll. So, some good, just kind of constant Spirit Leeching and that department. And on the other flank, we just had a couple Night Goblin archers kind of sitting out in the open with the cavalry in the tree line waiting to pounce. So we have just some Savage Orc Boar Boys and the Orc War Boss. So just the generic Lord for the Greenskins. You don't usually see the generic Lord that often for the Greenskins. Usually you're going to see one of the legendary Lords that just have so much of a bigger punch. Or, of course, you can see maybe the Shaman or something like that. But you don't really see the Orc War Boss that often. But let's get this show on the road as the Strigoi Vampire Lord is kind of pushing up a little bit with his 2 Black Coaches. And these Snotling Pump Wagons are looking to get in some nice free charging, considering there is no range on the Vampire Count. So as long as they don't get kind of caught up by some of the bigger units, for example, the Strigoi Vampire Lord, so he'll be kind of a good deterrent for those Snotling Pump Wagons. But the cavalry of the Black Knights are coming out, and the Greenskins have sprung their ambush as the Savage Orc Boar Boys run from the trees, and the Black Knights quickly notice that ambush and are trying to escape. Looks like one unit is getting caught up. And the Strigoi Vampire Lord is actually going to be kind of coming over here, kind of freeing up the Snotling Pump Wagons, kind of do a little bit of their work. So yeah, the Black Knights, they took a little bit of damage, but ultimately that ambush wasn't able to really catch them out. Now it's just the Night Goblin archers are going to be just firing in on the Strigoi Vampire Lord, trying to get as much poke damage as they can. I really think the Black Coaches could very well just be harassing this far left flank. They have no mobility, no range support on that side. They could just be running loops through their infantry formation. And then also, the Snotling Pump Wagons could be definitely targeting this flank right here as well. As the Giant River Troll Hag is actually a little isolated right now, doesn't really have any support, and even if she does get caught up by the Strigoi Vampire Lord, there's only some Orc Biggins that aren't going to be able to really do as much work. And we also have the summons of the Strigoi Vampire Lord, which he could be dropping, but he's just going to be getting some little pokes in the back as before he takes off. So just some free damage on that end, as the Night Goblin archers are now just kind of shooting into some zombies. Probably going to be going towards more higher targets, as the Snotling Pump Wagons just going to be running through these zombies, getting some free damage, and a charge into the front of the Skeleton Warriors by the Savage Orc Boar Boys. So just getting some nice free charges on both sides. Black Coaches really should be doing a lot more work than they are right now. Not a whole lot. A blast spell actually going down against the Strigoi Lord. I think that probably would have been better suited towards more of the infantry forces. Just kind of clipping them, not really doing a whole lot there. But they don't. The Greenskins really don't have a whole lot of answers for these Cairn Rays. As long as the Cairn Rays have some infantry support, there's nothing that can really do much against them. So a nice little breath attack doing some good work there, and a summon of Crypt Ghouls shutting down these archers as the Vampire Lord drops down onto the war boss. Again, not a whole lot of support. You do have those cav units right there. As he drops his Smash him faster and Opal Amulet. But yeah, the Vampire Lord, yeah, with the cav forces right there, he probably does want to pull out. Otherwise, he's going to be taking some unnecessary damage as he gets kind of, I guess, surrounded. But the Black Knights are also supporting in that area. So it should be kind of an even trade there. As the Black Coach kind of needs to be cycling in and out here. Being stuck in combat, not exactly its forte. A summon going down in the back line of the Greenskins on the far left flank, as these Orc Big Guns are actually sandwiched between some zombies and some Black Knights. So we swing back on over. You see the Strigoi Vampire Lord has taken quite a bit of damage from the surround off by the Savage Orc War Boys, and the Orc War Boss really needs that infantry support of the Stearnsman very quickly indeed. He does have quite a bit of healing left, but he is in a tough spot right now. He should be able to pull out in here, no problem, as long as those Savage Orc Boys don't keep him on the ground, though they might just be able to do that. That Strigoi Vampire Lord trying to get off, dropping a summon to kind of screen out those cavalry units, so he is able to get free. So he should be able to be getting out pretty quick, as the Black Knights are kind of surrounding these one unit of Savage Orc War Boys, so they should actually win that engagement there, and they pushed off those two ranged units. But this, the Black Coaches are both taking quite a bit of damage, not doing as much cycling as they should be, and that Rogue Idol is doing quite a bit of damage as one of the Black Coaches crumbles into the ground. See what? Just glancing away and then looking back, you see the Strigoi Vampire Lord has already healed pretty much back up to full. That is that replenishment ability that he's got. As he swings back in now, he is approaching his healing cap, but yeah, he was pretty much on danger low, and now he's all the way back up to full, really giving the beating to this Orc War Boss. And the cavalry is kind of going the way of the Vampire Counts as well, with those two units about to be routed off, as the rest of the Count's mobility is pretty much intact. As soon as those cavalry are out, they'll probably go in against these two range units, but two of the Black Coaches are both gone to the Rogue Idol, proving quite the stalwart defender. Now the Necromancer is actually engaged with the Giant River Troll Hag. Definitely not where he wants to be. He doesn't even want to be in any sort of melee engagement. Looks like the breath attack may be going down from the Strigoi Lord. He is coming right onto that Giant River Troll Hag, doing quite a bit of damage. Very good bit of work there, but now the Necromancer is pretty much surrounded, so they either need to get a summon off, or he just needs to try and pull back. I wouldn't advise that Strigoi Vampire Lord diving in, though it looks like he is trying to dive in and save him. They are pretty much completely surrounded. I don't think they want to be in this particular situation. One of them should be getting some kind of summons off to kind of help them out, or get the cavalry forces in. But right now, the Orc War Boss is kind of charging in, though he is very, very low. A couple of shots would be all it take to take him down, as the Cairn Rays are doing very good work chopping up these Snotling Pump Wagons and the remainder of the Cav forces, as they are now all routing. And now, yeah, the Strigoi Vampire Lord has pretty much reached its healing cap. And as they finally did get some support from the Black Knights, able to kind of at least give a little bit of relief, but the Necromancer has fallen. Not the worst case there for the Necromancer, but yeah, now there's no reason for the Strigoi Vampire Lord to really stick around. He needs to kind of pull out or get the support from these cav units. They have the 3 cav units right now. They could just get a complete surround off on that little blob there, but I can see why you'd want to kind of clean up forces on this far flank, but you still have those Cairn Rays, and these Orc Boys and Goblins aren't going to be able to do it, so you don't need both cavalry on that far flank. They need to be here assisting the main fight. They have been able to rout off the Orc War Boss, but I mean, the Strigoi Vampire Lord took a lot of damage that he can no longer heal back. So I think either he needs to finish off that Orc War Boss, or he needs to really work on this Rogue Idol, or just kind of actually really just clearing out the infantry that's supporting it, clear out the Giant River Troll Hag, and just leave that Rogue Idol for last. Let army losses kind of deal with that. As the cavalry are kind of now actually coming back for the Greenskins, but the Black Knights are still going to be able to do very good work against them. Should have no problem in handling what they have left in terms of ability, especially with the support of the Strigoi Vampire Lord. But yeah, we have the Sternsmen are now almost crumbling away into the ground. Though we definitely have the Cairn Race, which you do some nice armor piercing against the Rogue Idol. It's just so bad, but that River Troll Hag will be able to do some nice work them, getting some Spirit Leeches. So the Soul Blight, not so great against the Counts. Reducing armor is always helpful. Yeah, I guess that was mostly for like kind of Graveguard that they'd be facing. And now the Strigoi Vampire Lord is engaged with the Rogue Idol, one-on-one with, I guess two-on-one with the Giant River Troll Hag, and he probably doesn't want to be taking that just yet. Let the infantry do as much work as he can. I mean, that Giant River Troll Hag is losing a bit, so try and get her isolated, and should be able to do some better work there. But otherwise, a lot of the Greenskin forces are all pretty much routing, so it's just going to be this blob here. You got some stragglers kind of coming in. But as long as that Strigoi Vampire Lord, and now he gets that engagement that he wants. This is it right here, where the Giant River Troll Hag got out of that blob, away from the Rogue Idol, and now, yeah, that Vampire Lord was just given that hag the business, routing her off. Now just switch those Black Knights onto that Giant River Troll Hag and let that Strigoi Vampire Lord deal with the Rogue Idol. Really, you probably should be clearing out the infantry that are coming to support. So if that Rogue Idol doesn't have any infantry support, I think the Vampire Counts have a way back into this game, as the balance of power is shifting even more farther away from them, as they're probably getting very close to army losses. But yeah, the Cairn Race really just need to stick with against that Rogue Idol, do some constant damage, and let that the Strigoi Vampire Lord deal with the incoming reinforcements, keep them away from that Rogue Idol. As now the Black Knights should be completely chasing off that Giant River Troll Hag, doing some damage, should be shattering or just going down very soon. And now here is that final engagement with the Strigoi Vampire Lord against the Rogue Idol. Rogue Idol is going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and the more damage that Rogue Idol takes, the more damage it will be returning in kind. Right now, it doesn't look like any of its shots are really actually connecting, kind of just landing the blows on both sides of that Strigoi Vampire Lord, with the Cairn Race kind of nipping him in the rear. We are getting a little bit of support actually now, as these three infantry units, if they get close, they are very close to being just straight up terror routed from these Cairn Wraiths, and they are terrified and routing. So that was really the threat there, and that seems exactly what happens, is the balance power is actually coming back in the Vampire Count's favor, as they had the Black Knights are able to keep all of those infantry from coming in to support. And now that Rogue Idol is just about to break. The Counts are definitely looking like as soon as that Rogue Idol goes, that's going to be game for the Greenskins. It just hasn't been able. That finally lands a hit. If that had come like 6 tries ago, that would have been much better for the Greenskins. But right now, I mean, even if it's able to land the final blow, but it does rout right before it does, and the Vampire Counts will take it. Yeah, that was just a little bit unlucky there for the Greenskins. That Rogue Idol just wasn't landing the hits that it needed to be landing. All it needed was just like 1 or 2 hits to connect with that Strigoi Vampire Lord, and that probably would just put the nail in the coffin for the Counts. But otherwise, yeah, the Counts were able to kind of scrape their way back. The mobility in that late game was really what kind of won it for them. Once that the Greenskins didn't have anything to keep harassing those Black Knights, the Black Knights were just able to keep any of the returning infantry from coming to support that Giant River Troll Hag and the Rogue Idol. And that separation that Giant River Troll Hag had early on, well, I guess not early on, but towards that end when the River Troll Hag got separated from the Rogue Idol, that was really the big turning point there. Had those two been able to stick together, the Greenskins would have had a much better chance as well of kind of sticking with it. And then, I mean, the black coaches, they kind of dropped pretty quickly on the Vampire Count side without really kind of doing. I think they needed to be more cycle charging, kind of going in and out of the formations a bit more. I don't think they were used quite to the best way that they could have been as chariots. But otherwise, yeah, that was a very good comeback from the Vampire Counts. Greenskins definitely looked like they had it in them, and I think even the rogue idol itself, even though it did rout, had it not routed there, it had quite a bit of health left, and that vampire lord was just one hit away from death. And as I was saying, that was probably would have been all it took for the counts then to disintegrate into the ground. But very good game indeed. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one.